it Mark. What do you think about this current era where there's a lot of, like, let's just say it marks that are now wrestling reporters because they're paying wrestlers, whether it's Steven Richards or whoever the guy is that works with Jim Cornette. They've done nothing in wrestling, but they present themselves as experts, and people are actually valuing their opinion as if they actually have some knowledge, but they've never promoted, they've never wrestled, and they've never booked. And if it wasn't for this new video interview style, they would never even be anything. What do you think? Would you have imagined this to happen?
Yeah, Hannibal, you are 1,000% correct with that. And I'll tell you why. Bro, I am a huge baseball fan. I've been a huge baseball fan, bro, since 1970. So what is that? 55 years. Bro, never in a million years would I start a baseball podcast where all of a sudden I'm an authority. Never in a million years would I do that. If I ever want to do a baseball podcast, I would say every 5 minutes, I am a fan. I am a fan. I am a fan. Why? Because I've never been in the dugout. I've never laced up a pair of spikes, bro. I have no idea what it's really like. These guys think they're a part of it. They've actually convinced themselves they're a part of it. And bro, that's fine, bro. If you guys want to live in fairy tale land and the Sean Sapps of the world and really think you're a part of the business, that's fine, bro. But the sad thing is, bro, if you're one of these people paying them money to get their views on a business they were never a part of, again, I'm going to say it. You're an idiot, bro. You're an idiot. There are so many podcasts out there, including Hannibal, of people that have actually been in the business. Because, bro, if you haven't been in the business, you don't know shit. And, bro, like I said, man, as a baseball fan, I would never convince myself or you that I was ever a part of the baseball business. I never was.
Yeah, and the only thing that really drives me crazy about these guys is when they start talking tough, and I know they haven't been in a real fight, right. And they'll never talk, even to you. I know none of these guys would talk to you like that in person. They sure as hell wouldn't talk to that to me, because I don't talk bad about anyone I wouldn't fight.
Right.
Because I am a wrestler, I might run into these people. So if I think someone might be able to beat me up, I'm not going to go after them.
Right.
That's just the way I am. So I hate these little pipsqueaks that have never done anything. And then they want to talk like if they see you, they're going to act all tough to you.
No scripts, no apologies. This is Monte The Pharaoh. Step into the fire, we're breaking all the rules. Voices getting louder, we ain't playing for fools. From the streets of New York to the worldwide stage, uncaged opinions, yeah, we bring the rage. Truth hits hard like a chair shot swing. Legends get tested when the real ones sing. No filter talk, yeah, we say it proud. If you got a problem, say it out loud. Lights go down, we ignite the sound. No backing down when the truth comes out. With a nano filter case, yeah, we run this game. Monte and the Pharaoh, remember the name. Turn it up loud, let the whole world hear. We bring the heat, bring the pain, bring the fear. No filter case, yeah, we cross that line.
It's nothing better than AI making Don Morocco look gay. he's
Gay?
like he's like this.
Oh, I didn't. I'm gonna have to rewatch that one more time. You know what? I like that song. You sold me. I'm good.
Do you think you would play it in your car though? Because I wouldn't.
No, because then I would be like, what am I, a mark for myself? What am I
I
gonna,
know. It's
like,
like,
I'll ease the seat back like David Lee Roth and listen to my theme. You know what I mean?
you don't want to put on the Monte The Pharaoh theme and listen to it in my car.
Buzzdy, whoops, zitty
Oh
bop.
my god! Could you imagine?
Fucking great.
Oh
I
my
love David
god!
Lee Roth. By the way, years back, you guys went to see Van Halen and I missed it. And I saw this video. I guess you're kind of right. Maybe I missed Eddie because Eddie was still playing great, but Dave is not what Dave once was. I mean, even 10 years ago. So
But yeah, you know what? You know what I meant to ask you? Did you on your travels? Did you? I sent. I think I sent you the link yesterday. Motley
right,
Crue on.
yes, yes, I
What were
watched
your
it.
thoughts, Motley
Very
Crue,
cool.
and what's her name? The girl,
Carrie Underwood, very
Carrie
cool.
Underwood.
Very cool. And you know what I was happy about? I was happy that Vince held his own for what he could still, and it was very wise the way they traded off because she took some of the higher stuff and really was faithful to Vince's vibe. So I thought that, his vibe, his sound, she somehow intertwined it all. I was like, nice job. I thought it was good.
I will give Motley Crue credit for this, Jimmy. Like, I guess they're
Oh,
going on tour, so they're trying
yeah.
to
Yeah.
make sure
Well,
that people don't think Vince Neil's a mess. So, he did okay. I thought he did okay. I mean, he's not the Vince Neil of old. I mean, but what are you going to
no.
do, right?
No, and Vince was never like super spot on even in his prime. Sure, he had the range and the I guess he had a certain level of power. He has such a high range and a thin voice, but he comes across pretty ballsy sometimes. And he's smart nowadays. He has backup singers, good, ladies usually kicking
Right.
ass on choruses like Wild Side and stuff. So, but I'm very unhappy with Crew, but that's a whole nother story. The whole Mick Mars thing, and I'm not happy with Crew at all. But
Well,
that's
tell me a
that's
little
me.
bit. What's
Well,
bothering you about it?
I'm not gonna support Crew anymore that way.
Wow,
I'll
really?
always no, never, never again, never again. Like if you said, "Hey, Farrell, we got tickets," I'd say, "No, I can't. Come on, man, don't make me do it," because I'm very angry. Number one, the last time I saw Crew was that final tour that they signed in blood, and they all swore. And Mick Mars said, "If we ever play out again, it'll be for free." Because he meant it. And you know what's funny? Mick probably did mean it at the time because Mick is sick. Mick's been
Well, that's
slowly
what I'm saying.
dying, and
Didn't they get rid of him because he's sick and he can't really tour, right?
no, well, you know what? I don't mind the obvious business decision of that, and I wouldn't expect Mick to be happy about that. But what I didn't like was them cutting him out of everything financially. That is bullshit. He is a pillar. He named the band, and if there was such a thing as a father figure, or I guess big brother in this case, in that band, it was Mick. They
Mm,
always look to Mick for sanity and direction. And if you really think about it, when you listen to Motley Crue's music, there's only two of the four are truly killer musicians at their instrument. Tommy Lee is one of the greatest drummers who ever walked the earth, and that's that. No
agreed.
matter what you think
Agreed.
about him, that is
100%. Yeah.
that. He's the John Bonham of his genre as far as the hard hitting style he played. And then there's Mick. And Mick is so underrated. Mick is a riff monster. Think about all those riffs, Mike. Shout at the devil, looks that kill, wild side, girls, girls, girls. He's a riff monster. So there's that.
I agree, dude. Listen, I'm
You know,
as
Nicky's a
strange
good
as this may
songwriter, though. I
sound.
don't want to omit Nicky because Nicky writes the lyrics a lot, and but he's not like Bob Dylan or John and Paul, for God's sakes.
Where does Crew rank for you on all-time greats?
Well, where do you have to put them in almost subgenres because I can't discuss Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath in the same sentence as Motley Crue. It's a whole different ball of wax.
Mm,
I
yeah.
would say that if you're talking about '80s metal, let's just say '80s metal, they have to be in the top five to top three as far as their impact and popularity. I mean, you've got Iron Maiden, you got Judas Priest. That sums up the whole British metal thing for the '80s. As far as I'm sure there's other great bands, but it's Maiden and Priest as far as the mass commercial appeal in general. And then you have Crew, which is a whole nother ball of wax, and they were probably selling more than those aforementioned bands back in the '80s with their hits because they could write hits. Let's face it. Judas Priest wasn't
You
about hits, and Maiden certainly wasn't about them.
you've got one opportunity to go to a
Yeah.
concert, right? That's it. Before you
Yeah.
die, right?
Yeah.
In their prime.
Beatles.
No, well, I
Done.
was never going to ever put the Beatles in there, right? Because
Yeah,
that's
Beatles.
a no brainer, right?
Yeah, done.
So here,
Yeah.
I give you 3 bands, okay?
Okay. Go ahead.
Sabbath, Crew, or Zeppelin. Who are you going to see?
Well,
Or
I've
Kiss.
seen
Or Kiss. Or
I've
Kiss.
seen the original Black Sabbath.
No,
and I've
you
seen,
haven't seen anybody. You
oh,
straight
all
up,
right.
you have
So
one
one more
chance
time.
in their prime.
So
Kiss,
Zeppelin, Sabbath,
Zeppelin,
and Crew.
Crew, and Sabbath.
Well, if I'm being, to tell you the truth, it would probably be Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Because to me, after the Beatles ruled the '60s, and many years after, obviously, because their impact is eternal at this point. Than Beethoven, but the kings of the '70s was Led Zeppelin, and there was a good reason for it. And it's amazing too, because they're the polar opposite of the Beatles, who were kings of the '60s. The Beatles were hit machines. Even when they got creative, those songs had hooks. I mean, when they're getting all crazy druggy, they still had hooks in all their songs. Look at all those hits they had. It's ridiculous. Can you name a single from Zeppelin? They're not a single band. Sure, there's songs that get played on the radio all the time, but if you look at the length of those songs, those aren't singles. They weren't about singles. They were about releasing unbelievable albums.
But here's the thing, though, dude. When I said this to you, I meant concert, right? So I understand you may enjoy the music more, but like if
Yeah.
I had to go to a concert, I would say I would go Kiss,
Well,
Crew, Sabbath, Zeppelin would be last for me. You
well,
know?
now it gets tricky, because if you're talking about a show,
Yeah.
if you're talking about the E in entertainment, then nothing tops 1970s Kiss, the original
Right.
Kiss. Sorry, they're the template for a show.
And that's what I'm saying. You have one chance to go to a concert. You love all 4 of their music, but it's the concert, right? So it's not just the music now, it's the whole thing.
I got to admit, I'm still going to see Led Zeppelin, because that's the one band that I feel that I met. You know what? Led Zeppelin to me is like Hendrix. My God, I would love to have seen Hendrix. Zeppelin, I would have loved to have seen Zeppelin. The Doors. Oh my God, I would. Please, I'd probably give a limb to go see the Doors.
So you'd go see the Doors over everybody else.
Most likely, I would want to see the Doors at like that incredible performance they did at the Hollywood Bowl. I would have liked to have been there for something like that. That's just because Jim is. You talk about the E in entertainment. When you really think about it, Jim was the first front man who was a true show.
Oh yeah,
If you're,
absolutely.
I mean, as far as Elvis obviously, but Elvis didn't write his own. I look at Elvis totally different. Elvis is like a Hogan of sorts. He's
Dude,
not the.
could you imagine God saying, here you go, ticket to see Elvis, ticket to see the Beatles,
Yeah.
ticket to see the Doors, ticket to see Joplin, ticket to see Hendrix.
I'll tell you what. What if they did this to you? What if they did the face of each decade? What if they said, Michael Monte, I have a ticket for Elvis Presley, I got a ticket for the Beatles, I got a ticket for Led Zeppelin, I got a ticket for Van Halen, I got a ticket for Nirvana. Which one are you going to?
So honestly, it would be really tight between Elvis and the Beatles.
It would be the
but
Beatles.
I would go to the Beatles. The Beatles would be, you could probably spend 4 or 5 hours just listening to their music, right? But Elvis is not a far second. That's all I'm trying to say, at least in my book. And I'm not comparing Elvis to the Beatles. Don't anyone misconstrue that, right?
It's totally different.
Yeah, but all I'm trying to say is, for me personally, it would be a very tough decision.
I had a good buddy back in my church days when I was teaching in the church, and he was the biggest Elvis Presley fan, and I was the biggest Beatles fan. And we very politely, because you're in a church, you can't throw F-bombs, but we came close, arguing about who's more important, who's better, the whole deal, the Elvis thing. It's nice to see people still totally loving Elvis.
You can't. No one in their right mind could ever confuse the Beatles to anybody else. End of story. Doesn't matter. It's just stupid. Anytime I hear people's I hear this. There's a big conversation. I think we talked about this a year ago on the show.
All right.
That a lot of people felt the Beach Boys were a better band than the Beatles. And I'm like, no. And their songs are so much more complicated and so much more,
No. No, but they were. But what they were was is you have to go back to the time the Beach Boys were. Listen, if it wasn't the Beatles that people were discussing the complexity of harmonies about in those days, it was the Beach Boys. I seriously think when you think about and you listen to the sound of the Beach Boys and the layers, I'm telling you, though they're both geniuses. I understand why somebody would want to debate that, but come on, at the end of the day, it's the notes that McCartney and Lennon put on paper that have stood the test of time, even greater than the Beach Boys, which has stood the test of time too. But I think it's more like a Hogan Savage thing. Like the Beach Boys are that great at their vocals. They always were, and incredible writers, but they're not John and Paul. Sorry.
Jason Morning says Wasp is one band I'd like to see. I was a big fan.
Oh, love
Uh,
Wasp.
a
Love
mess says same thing, dude. Wasp rocks, dude.
them.
They are so good. They're on my
The
listen.
first the first
They're on my
album
song
is
list.
the first album is amazing. Oh my god, Love Machine. Oh my god, they on your knees. I'm not even naming the I Want to Be Somebody songs. I mean, they have a lot of great songs. They really do.
Our
They're
friend
great.
Phil's in the house. He says he would love to
Mr.
see.
President.
He would love to see Rob Halford meet Marty Jannetty. Could you imagine that matchup? Oh my god.
Well, as long as Rob Halford's not meeting Shawn Michaels, I guess this could be clean.
All right, dude. So, a couple of things I want to remind everybody as we go for our summer push. Number one, number two, I want to say, hey, look, the original Monte The Pharaoh channel, thanks to the great President Trump, has been reinstated. So we're trying to rebuild. We still got, I think, 18,000 subs, but we have to remonetize. So there's some work that has to be done there. So anything anybody can help us with, please also go to the original, the OG Monte The Pharaoh channel. We're talking about putting some stuff on there. I know, Phil, you've been talking to Bruce about possibly putting a camera up in your radio station and going live, and you guys can see Phil in action, and we'll put him on the channel if that's possibly going to
Hey,
happen.
Mike, can I
Yeah.
really, really quickly? I just want to say to Phil directly, Phil, thank you. I got the text about you playing Heartless Man on the radio up on your station, and I'm sorry, I just have so much crap going on, bro. But I really do love you for it. Thank you.
Dude,
And
he put
Bruce, I
Heartless
know
Man on.
Bruce
They
called
put
you,
Heartless
and I
Man
got to
on
get.
his station.
Yeah, he played Heartless Man. He loves that song. He texted me, "I love this effing song."
It's
Mr.
a great
President
song.
getting graphic.
Isn't that the
So
Tony Atlas theme song from Tuesdays with Tony Atlas, right?
no, I thought that was Finest Hour.
Oh,
Was
it
it
was
Heartless
fun.
Man?
Was it Finest Hour?
I think it was Finest Hour. Yeah,
You
where you
might be
show
right.
Tony working out and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it
yeah.
was that one. That's a nice song. I haven't
Well,
listened to that in a
Jimmy,
while.
you know you'll make it if they put you on what radio?
What? Hey,
You
I'm
know
gonna
you made
write
the big
myself.
time. You know you made the big time if someone put you on what radio?
I'm
What
gonna I'm
radio?
gonna I'm gonna write myself a country AI song, Mike. What do you think?
That's a great idea. All right, so as we're building up this schedule for the summer, that's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
We've got the great Jim Crockett returning back on May 28th, where we're going to do a full
Wow.
episode, a tribute to Ted Turner.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we're always happy that I'm a big David Crockett and Crockett fan. So are you. So that should be fun. And we got some other stuff coming up. I don't know, man. Morocco's ghosted me all of a sudden, dude. I don't know. I don't know what's going
You
on
think
there.
he's getting phone calls?
I don't know, man.
Maybe
You know what I mean?
Maybe Don is just aloof, and you got to poke him a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, again, and then like we said, we have that agreement with ECW Press, so Vince Russo will be coming on. And dude,
Oh
I
yeah.
got to tell you,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never wanted an interview so bad.
Yeah, when
I'm
pigs
serious.
fly, I'm on record already. I'll believe that when I see
Oh,
it.
you just think he's saying fuck them? I'm
There
not
is
going on.
no fucking way, bro. There's no way.
I
And by the
so
way,
hope you're wrong.
by,
I
by the way,
really
with
do.
that stupid baseball thing that he rants about at the beginning of our show all the time, I'd like to let him know personally because George Steinbrenner actually wrote a letter to my dad one time. George Steinbrenner considered the fans a vital part of the business. Vital. And he welcomed their constructive criticism, and he praised them and said without them there's nothing. Now the only time you can get away with performing in front of nobody is if you do an empty arena match and it happens to be Lawler and Funk and it's aired for millions of people to watch it. So without the fans there's absolutely nothing, and we are a vital part of the business whether you like it or not, bro.
Well, first of all,
It's so dumb. And and one more thing. Like, let's say we attached to our wagon for some reason, maybe an acid overdose, to someone like Hannibal, the way the kid across the pond did when he would attach his wagon to a Shane Douglas or whoever, right? Let's say we did that. Do you think that Hannibal wouldn't take the money? Of course he would. So what is it with these fuck faces, bro?
so if he does come on, we have to talk
Make
about
sense?
TNA, but we will discuss. I so wholeheartedly
I
do.
want to have it
Listen,
in person. Let's do it at a studio. Let's have him in person, and we'll all discuss it like human beings.
that's not going to be possible because he lives wherever. But I will say this:
I thought he lives on
all the people that support this show, right? They're integral parts of pro wrestling.
Of
Phil
course.
DeCesare is a historian. A lot of people go, "I'm a historian." Phil
Right.
DeCesare is a historian, except for the fact that he doesn't know the song that David Von Erich came out to. I had to
Yeah, but
prove it wrong.
Phil doesn't also beat his chest and stand from an obnoxious mountaintop. Come on.
Jay Will, the guy's brilliant. Look, we've got so many brilliant
Will.
people
Oh, yeah.
here. Jason
Legend.
Morning, the guy knows his shit.
Jason, another
right?
legend.
So again, Zombie, you don't know much, but that's okay. We love you anyway, brother.
Pick it on Zombie. What's
Well,
going
come on, Zombie's crazy, dude. Sorry
He's
to
a
say.
zombie. What do you expect him to be?
I mean, when he asked me like who's Scott Hall, I don't know how to answer those questions. You know what I'm saying?
It depends on the day. We met him.
But I will say that interview with Vince, when we get that interview, dude, it's on. Because again, why is Hannibal part of the business? All the guy did, okay, we'll talk about Hannibal later, but I mean, all the guy did was pay wrestlers the beat. So that makes him in the business.
Dude, first of all, whatever. I don't normally say these positive things about Russo. Russo's fucking Hogan compared to Hannibal. Come on.
Well, though, Russo didn't catch on to Hannibal's comments at the beginning of the show. If you listen to it very closely, he goes, You know what gets me? These pipsqueak guys. Even you, Vince, right? Even you. Like, you're a pussy, Vince, but, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Even you. Well, Hannibal, obviously thinks that only 1% of the world can beat him up. I'm sure it's a few more percentage points.
Hannibal seems to be a tough guy. But, and we'll get into the podcasting thing, Jimmy, but this world is changing. And if you can't put on a show, you're going to die, right?
Yeah.
And Hannibal, for someone that has 500,000 subscribers, what the fuck he has, he's dying. A lot of the look, we're going to talk about, I'm not going to get into it right now, but all I'm going to say this, a lot of these people who were lucky enough to be able to make enough money where they thought they could just quit their job and be a podcaster, it's over, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? It's all over. And I'm laughing all the way to the fucking bank, you clowns. And again, when Vince Russo talks about us, listen, here's the deal, okay? We've been number 1 in 3 countries. We've been number 3 in the United States. This is on audio. We've been on Dark Side of the Ring. Our shit's been used all over the world. Okay?
ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio has used us, right?
Yeah.
We're on New York Cable.
Sorry, folks.
We're on New York Cable. It does count.
Yeah,
we're on ESPN.
Yeah,
so here's the situation. I'm not patting it back. It was with the support of all the people here. But the fact of the matter is, for a show that had the backing of Jimmy Farrow and Mike Monty, that was the backing. We've been, and the fans who have supported us. We've done okay, but we got a lot.
Just like the Pantera. In other words, just like the Pantera song, regular people built this shit, yo. Right. Regular people. Right.
And again,
great song from Pantera. Look it up.
And again, don't forget, this is the last thing. If people want whatever you want to say, this is the truth. We signed $120,000 deal with Jim Beam and got fucked. Call us stupid, but guess what? Jim Beam wanted to sponsor this fucking show.
Right. Yeah, don't remind me, man. Don't remind me. There's been some great highlights and there's been some dark corners, bro. That's
we've had some dark corners, bro.
Yeah,
we've had some dark corners.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah. Yes, we have.
And before we get into the show, I want to remind you that stuff on the old channel brings back great memories. Phil would be able to talk about it. Jay Will, B40,
Maria.
think about all the stuff that went on in that time,
Oh
from
man.
the Dan Marotti feud, and then shockingly finding out that Dan Marotti passed away. Do you remember that day? And it's like,
I,
as much as me and Jimmy couldn't stand him. Go ahead, Jimmy.
oh,
Tell people what you thought.
well, I remember, weren't we in a parking lot? I can actually remember the visual of the moment where we found out, and I looked at you and I was like, why am I feeling nothing but grief? I mean, it was just because, like, the history with us and Marotti. Marotti was actually, I felt, more aggressive to us a lot of the time. I was like, what is his problem? And then when he passed, I was actually, look, he's a young man. That was horrendous. And then John Cena Sr. came on. I remember that. And that show, I think, is one of the greatest things we ever did.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, we feuded with this guy. There was definitely bad blood there and stuff. And when we passed away, we felt that, you know, Russo and them make fun of people like Dan Marotti. They were making fun of people like you and me. I felt, and you felt, that Dan Romani was a regular guy who did something. And people loved him. He had his following. You know what I mean? So it was like, he deserves to be remembered the right way, no matter what, whether we had bad, problems with him or not. And I thought that was a great show. John Cena Sr. was like practically in tears, wasn't he? I mean, that was a great show. I mean, it's a sad thing to even have the show, but I thought we did the right thing.
My feeling on the whole thing is, with Marotti, is like, during a very hard time, Marotti entertained people, right?
Yeah,
Regardless,
yeah,
he entertained people. I mean, look, dude, the guy, listen, this shit's dog eat dog, right? It is
right.
dog eat dog.
And
And
nothing, Mike.
everybody's trying to get their little piece of the pie,
Yeah,
and it's getting more clouded every day. We're going to get into all these, fucking streamers, these reaction streamers, and James Romero and Hannibal, and the list is long and long and long. But it's like,
too long.
Marotti at the time. Look, Zuzap says Marotti was a genius. He's never and will never someone as passionate about wrestling. He went to wrestling shows in Boston from the 80s onwards. Yeah, well, he
I
had the
liked his.
respect of the people that followed him, dude.
I liked his TV studio. We had a killer's TV studio at the time too when we were doing our shtick with him. But he had a nice studio. He had a good look. His show looked like his. That's it. That to me is a huge part of everything. A lot of these shows we laugh at and we talk about all the time. It's just some dude said it looks terrible. It just doesn't have any vibe to it. When you looked at his program, I felt like I could at least believe I was watching something on UHF. How about that?
Listen,
You know what
I
mean?
agree with you. Trailer Park, you're going to hear about us. What we're going to discuss about reaction. We agree with you 100%. Some really good comments, Jimmy. Just trying to go through them.
Thank
I
you to
remember your
everybody.
feud with
Thank you.
him. This is from a mess. I also remember Tony Atlas flipping out
Yeah.
at the well for something about the social.
Social
Listen,
Security.
catch that video, dude. Going back to that. Do you remember that time, Jimmy? Again, we got to get to the other stuff, but
Mike, that was one of the most uncomfortable fucking moments ever. I turned to you, like, we looked at each other like, oh shit, this guy is losing it. What the? I think you took us to a commercial, right? I said you better go to.
well,
a
I
commercial or
remember the
something.
fans watching would say, "Monty, pull the plug,
Yeah,
pull the plug." I remember they're like, "Pull the." It was
yeah.
that. It
I was
was that
uncomfortable. I was
intense.
uncomfortable, right? And they say wrestling is all fake. My ass. I was like, what is going on? I was.
Dude, I gotta be honest. I cannot wait for us to get back in studio. I cannot
I
wait.
know. Me too.
I just
I
can't
agree.
wait.
Yeah, but where? I guess we'll discuss this off the air. But my God, where?
We got a lot. All right, bro. Let's start moving here. Great commentary so far. Michael Rappaport announces his bid for the 2029 New York City mayor race. What do you think of that, dude?
You're gonna have to fill me in. I live in a musical dungeon.
Michael Rappaport is an actor, right? He's been in
Yeah.
many, and he's at some point he's a podcast.
Oh,
The guy's
damn.
the guy's crazy, dude. The guy's crazy.
Okay. Whatever happened to the old school politicians who like did it for like, generations and stuff? What is going on here? Mike, why don't we run? We might as well run. What's the
I
point?
told you I'm running for office. You know what I mean?
Okay. Office of what? Like the school sanitation department?
I'm definitely running for town legislator or something. I'm not kidding, bro. I'm all in. I'm all in.
I'm surprised you're not asking me about that piece of shit who threw a rock at a seal. I know that we have to move on, but that motherfucking piece of shit. He just
What
got
happened?
arrested,
I don't
by the
even
way.
know what happened.
Some dude on vacation in Hawaii. I think he's Russian. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but he's not. He's not from America. He was in a vacation on Hawaii. They have him on video taking a large rock and throwing it at a seal, just missing it. And then when the people on the beach were calling him out, he goes, "I'm rich. Find me." Fuck you,
Actually,
dude.
he's a Seattle tourist, dude. Let me get this picture up.
All right, so he's from here. You piece of shit. Sorry, Russia. My parents are Russian. I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, I apologize, Russia.
I gotta
Get
tell
out of
you,
here,
I
buddy.
don't,
Anyway.
I don't understand. Okay, I understand throwing rocks at people. I really do. I no. Listen, dude. I'm being honest. People suck, but like, why would you hurt a fucking innocent animal, dude? Come on, man.
Mike,
What
if
the
you're
fuck is
standing there
wrong?
on the beach, and I know you love the beach, if you were there, are you recording it just standing there, or are you socking that guy in the fucking face?
I'm going. Listen, dude. I'm an old man now, but like I said, I've got one left. Yeah. You know what? You hurt an animal, dude. I'm all over your ass. Fuck that shit. I got one left, dude. Just one left. I got nothing much left. What?
Dude, you're still a big guy. Why don't you just grab the neck and squeeze, man? Come on.
Dude, I'm just fat as fuck.
You're a wrestling guy. Remember, this is a wrestling show. Grab him. And Valentine one time said to me, because he was like, "Oh, you're gonna laugh at this." And Valentine was like, "I heard you had a little tussle with Marty." This was like years ago, right? Obviously, the Marty thing. He's like, "Just remember, Pharaoh, front face lock wins every single time." He was like giving me tips. So, Mike, front face lock, Mike. After you throw your one last shot, front face lock. You're good.
Front face lock. Little sad news, Jimmy. Little sad news.
What, more? Okay.
Yeah, this is a little bit of sad news. I think for all of us, it's sad news. Producer, director Barry Blaustein from Beyond the Mat passed away on the 12th of May. Do you remember Beyond the Mat? I know you do. I know everybody does.
I remember like vividly pretty much the Jake the Snake Roberts stuff in there, correct? And Foley, I think was involved, and Funk. Wasn't Funk in that too? It's been a
whole
long
bunch
time
of a whole bunch of people were in it. So
those are the ones that stand out to me, though.
It's literally, if you're a wrestling fan,
yeah,
and people talk about documentaries, listen, there's two documentaries as a wrestler. Okay, let me not jump all over the place, but let me just say this. You know as well as I do, I love all sorts of documentaries. Whether it's on history, whether it's on murder, whether it's on science.
Sure.
One of my real loves is pro wrestling documentaries.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing I always felt about the WWE is their documentaries, no matter what they were always top notch. So the shit you're getting on, like we talked about the Von Erich one that was just on. They did one on the Four Horsemen, which I got to watch it again. I don't know, for some reason I didn't like it that much. I don't know why. But,
I do.
If you get Netflix, well, let's talk about that in a second. But if you get Netflix, you got the Hogan, you got the McMahon documentary. Both of those are top notch. But if you go back to old school, before they were doing this stuff and before there was a WWE network, which eventually went to Peacock, which eventually went to Netflix, which, by the way, I don't know why we don't get a proper library. To me, there were two great wrestling documentaries. Beyond the Mat and Wrestling with Shadows, the Bret Hart documentary.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
How great was that documentary? But if everybody remembers Beyond the Mat, and by the way, for some reason you can't stream it, you got to pay for it, and I ain't paying for it, but because I haven't seen it in a long time. But it's about a guy that grew up in wrestling. He decides to go on to the world of wrestling. But what's so wonderful about it is he starts off talking about when a kid, and then he starts venturing into all different types of stuff. Like he goes and sees Jake the Snake Roberts, who's a fucking mess. And they show him wrestling at WrestleMania 3 in front of 93,000 people. And then they show him wrestling in front of 18 people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you see these fans, again, guys, I'm not knocking anybody, but these wrestling fans, and especially back then, it's like, holy shit. And then, Jake Roberts, whose daughter was on the Missy Hyatt, the Missy Beefcake show that is on this channel. Right. She came on, but back then she was a very big girl, and she had a really torn relationship with Jake. Jake was a crackhead, and then this guy goes to the Florida area, the California area, which if someone, you guys are so awesome because my memory's worth of shit. Wait a minute, Grape. What is this? Grape 1014. Lee Mole had a documentary, Wrestling with the Devil, and the devil's name is his pill addiction. Very funny. Trailer Park. Yeah. Randy the Ram. The Wrestler is a great movie, but that's not a documentary, right? Jason.
Thank God, though. Thank God for that movie, because that movie was basically based on what kind of really happens. So.
Yeah, well, but I don't consider it a documentary.
No, of course not. But it very well could have been.
But he goes to California. If someone could give me that fat promoter that was in California, that was like stealing everybody's money, and
wonderful.
Our little asshole friend over there that hangs out with Ginsburg, he was a lawyer for him. Remember the story that he had a lawyer?
Get bent.
Yeah, right, exactly. He was a lawyer. He was a lawyer, and he went and he gave his services as a lawyer to this guy, and he was so bad the guy fired him. But if someone remembers a guy in California, a big fat guy, so they go and see him, and then he starts bringing these two guys, Mike Modest and this other guy. I forget the guy's name. He's a black guy.
Okay.
They bring him to the WWF for a tryout. The black guy's dead now too, I think.
Right.
And Modest, Roland Alexander. Thank you, B40. B40 fucking rocks, dude. So Roland,
how do you know that, B40?
Roland would rip off people, and Buddy Chubby Totello, whatever we call him, that fucking
Chubby Tortello.
Douchebag. Yeah, that douchebag. He got involved with them, but. So he goes there, and then he goes to the WWE, and I think that's where, Jimmy, if you remember, maybe you can tell everybody the story, when the most dramatic part in the whole thing, guys, is like when The Rock starts beating the living shit out of Mick Foley with a chair.
My God.
And they put the camera on Foley's wife and kids. There's a scene from it, dude. And it's that I think it was Royal Rumble, if I'm right. That was the most brutal fucking match I have ever seen.
Mike, do you remember the story? Mick.
I want you to tell the story, dude.
Mick freaked out on me. I got to meet him because my father was just a very thoughtful man, and my father was fond of wrestling and got me into wrestling. And he got me a ticket to the public library where I lived nearby, and Mick Foley was there. I couldn't believe this. He comes home, he hands me this ticket. He goes, "I got you a ticket to see Mick Foley at the library." I said, "At the library?" This is when he had released his book, Michael.
Right.
Have a nice day, Mankind, blah, blah, blah. He's a big #1 bestseller and stuff. I was like, he's going to be at the library? So I wore my ECW shirt. He did a great speech. It was awesome listening to him. He was very engaging, and he was great with the crowd. I thought he was awesome. And then I walked up there, and I hadn't read the book yet. I had just gotten it. I had just gotten it like the day before. I can't read the whole book the night before. What am I? Then I am a mark. I'm like, oh my God, So I said to him, I said, "I'm glad you're okay." I was like, because that match with The Rock was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It made me want to it made me cringe. He got so upset. Oh my God. I was like, whoa, what did I do? He goes, "Don't you know that that's like the worst day of my life?" He was like, "My family." He was like, he started to go into, like, for real. He was really upset about it. I was like, "Oh, bro, I'm sorry." Then I read the book, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, Mick. My God, don't kill me for it. I still feel it's the most brutal thing I've ever seen anybody go through. And I watched him get him flung off the cell with Taker. Those chair shots were worse because it seemed like elongated pain instead of one quick burst of ultra violence. I don't know. It was the most uncomfortable match I can remember. Right?
Listen, dude, I remember watching that live, but when you watch it on Beyond the Mat, you're just like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
Then they go to ECW where Paul Heyman does this fucking incredible speech, and he thanks Terry Funk because it's their first pay-per-view, and if it wasn't for Terry Funk, you know,
Right.
the ECW wouldn't exist.
No.
And then they follow Terry Funk towards the end of the movie where he's doing a retirement match, like his 80th retirement match. He's worse than Kiss, right? And
He's about the same.
he's wrestling Bret Hart. Vince McMahon gives him Bret Hart, and he goes and he runs into his wrestling friend. It's a really great scene, dude.
Yeah.
Dennis Stamp. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
And Dennis Stamp was like some jobber, right? That Terry was, and he goes, "Hey, Terry goes, are you coming to the show?" I don't know how to do Terry. You probably a better imitation on Terry.
No, I know. I got you.
And Dennis Stamp says to him, "No, Terry, I'm not booked." And Terry's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm not booked." And I guess that's a rule with the wrestler. If you're not booked, you can't go, which, not to veer off, I'm doing a lot of veering off. But if you remember Mike Mantor, when we hung out with him in Florida and we were going to see Hogan, we said to Mantor, "Come on, we'll go see Hogan together." He's like, "I'm not going."
Right. He didn't want
He said to me, "I'm no Mark," right?
Yeah.
I'm no Mark.
He's like,
I'm not
I don't
going
want
to
see Hogan. He looked at Hogan as a coworker. He's like, I don't want to go see Hogan.
Right.
Good for him.
So Terry Funk goes, "Well, you're on the show." And Dennis Stamp was like sitting there, and then Dennis Stamp goes, "Okay." And then they showed Dennis Stamp working out, and they ask him a question because he's like on a trampoline or whatever. And Dennis Stamp goes, "You never know when you're going to get the call." This guy was like 58 years old.
Right.
Guys, as much as we love wrestling and we've been around, this is the most. Listen, the world's fucked up, but these guys are they're all fucked up.
I'll never shake when we went to go see Valentine, and just as Greg's getting ready to take off that robe, what was Greg in like his 60s at the time?
Yeah.
And you're like, God, no. It's like you're ruining this whole thing. I'm like, oh no.
B40, I'm not booked. Dude, I gotta watch Beyond the Mat again, man. But anyway,
Mike, if I can too, I know we're veering sometimes tonight, but I think it's actually there's no issue with it because there's a connection here. We're talking about a famous guy who passed away with the producing and stuff like that. We just lost Jack Douglas, who was the producer for the classic Aerosmith 70s stuff.
Yeah.
The guy was a legend, and a little trivia for you, not that anybody would ever ask it, but before we would trying to get Eddie Kramer for Wisteria Hall, Jack Douglas was the first name we entertained. So we almost wound up getting Jack Douglas to do it. And Jack Douglas is responsible for songs like Sweet Emotion, Toys in the Attic, Dream On. That guy was a master. I just wanted to get that in, Mike. Jack Douglas. I think he made it to 80.
Rest in peace, Jack Douglas. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I just want to thank Barry Ballantine for giving us such a legendary documentary. This is a true documentary.
Yeah, it was art.
If I could throw my shot in, it's not like this piece of shit movie, 350 Days. The worst fucking documentary in the history of pro wrestling. And this has nothing to do with my hatred for Evan Ginsberg, who, by the way, claims to be the fucking associate producer for The Wrestler, which you've told that story a million times. Evan Ginsberg was sitting with somebody, and the guy came into a wrestling store. It could have been anybody. You know what? Zombie, you could have been producer of The Wrestler. So Evan Ginsberg eats his own shit, and then he goes and makes this piece of garbage movie. This is the worst. Dude, this is like a giant shoot-in. Be honest, Jimmy. 350 Days. Give me your true analysis. It doesn't matter what your partner thinks. It doesn't matter. I want you to share your thoughts on 350 Days. And then please share the story again, because, again, they chose us to be in the press conference, which no one was at. But I digress. Go ahead, Jimmy. I'm telling the truth, so go ahead.
You're stealing half my thunder.
I'm sorry.
All
Go.
Right?
You're on, bro.
I'm like, fuck, man. He's taking away my bullet points, Now, what do you got to go to me solo for with this? Yeah, it's not my hatred for Evan Ginsburg. I'm like, oh my God, please. Look, it's really this simple. Like, all being all fair and square about everything. The movie itself is very meh. MEH. I think everybody knows what meh is, right? And I'm being serious right now. It's very meh. The music is very meh. The feel of it is very blah. It's just it's kind of like lacking a life. It's lacking a color that to pull out of you. You don't really feel much when you're watching it, and that means the rest of what Mike said when we had the press conference. Nobody's there, but don't you remember the brawl between those two people at the popcorn stand that were the only people watching the movie? That was you and me. Don't you remember that?
Jimmy and I go to a very large venue.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was like the
huge.
Phantom of the Opera type theater. You know what I mean? Like the
We
chandelier could
are
have dropped and killed
so
thousands.
Jimmy and I are doing the interview for the press conference, right? Along with some other podcasters, right? And this is really before it was even called podcasting. I don't even know what it was called.
Right.
Literally,
Right.
no one's there. Then we go to screen the movie.
Right.
We go in there. We take a limo, right? A limo, right? We
Yeah.
go there. There's no one in the theater.
There's
No
no
one.
one there.
And and me and Jimmy are like, okay, it's wrestling. Literally, listen, I got two
No.
stories to tell. I brought my wife to see Lincoln, the movie Lincoln. I'm a big Lincoln fan. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Lincoln, but my wife literally looked like she wanted to slit her throats 5 minutes in. I had never seen a face like that until I saw Jimmy Farrow at 350 days. I looked to my left and Jimmy looks like he wants to fucking kill himself. It was the worst. And listen, man, you hit on the head. The worst music. It was a giant shoot interview. It was just, there was no rhyme or reason for anything that they were talking about.
No.
The theme was that they worked 350 days, but it was just like, oh my God. And then the worst part, which people said they actually wait a minute, Jimmy, one thing. Ox Baker cooking lasagna. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, what?
You did it again.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead. Take it, please.
Right.
Go ahead.
Here. No. You're right, though, because that's exactly where I was heading. And see, that's why we've been doing this show forever, because at the end of the day, we might be two different people, but we always seem to meet at the same intersection, right? You know what I'm saying? So It's basically Ox Baker. I know you've never liked him and stuff, but Ox Baker is one of the most. He's scary, man, and he always was to me. I always bought into him. You could see the old matches where he was the ultimate villain, causing riots, doing whatever. That hard punch. He was a dangerous guy. Oh, this is where the artsy fartsy comes in. Let's show him cooking. The fuck is wrong?
I got an idea. I'm brilliant. I'm Evan Ginsburg.
Yeah.
I think we should show Ox Baker cooking lasagna.
Right. That's.
Oh, wait a minute. Or about this, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Or how about Jimmy Snuka petting a llama? Or whatever the fuck he was petting.
Brilliant. He could have been petting his own monkey for all I care.
And then it's like, we have no money for music, so let's put on this 1920 like, dude.
Dude, it was worse than that. It was like they stole a cassette from the bayou. I was like, what the fuck is this? I mean, when Ronnie Van Zant finds out you stole his illegitimate third cousin's music, he's going to be mad. That's his sister, 7 times removed's mother, I mean, come on.
Guys, when we were in the theater, it was so bad. Me and Jimmy are just laughing like we are now. Just uncontrollably laughing.
Yeah,
because you can't believe... You couldn't believe that someone actually made something this bad. It's like, you had to have done this on purpose, right?
It's not even that to me. It's like, okay, you made something and it stinks, whatever. But when you stand on a mountaintop and declare yourself Moses...
I know.
I can't.
This is true art. I made art. No, you didn't.
What
you made
do
shit.
You know about art, Jimmy Farrow? Well, you got a fucking month. You know what I mean? It's just like, get the fuck out of here. Holy shit.
You know what? I make more. I make better art in my toilet in the morning.
Yeah.
I take a shit and I go, now that's art.
That is art. Well, if it's swirly, like if you had a cinnamon roll the day before, yeah, it is art. It's more creative than that piece of shit. What the fuck?
And he doesn't even, like, you gotta listen, dude. If I made that movie I would have to be honest with myself and go, "This is the worst piece of shit that's ever been made. It's so bad."
Let's do an alternate reality. He does realize it. He's watching the thing. He's like, wait a minute, this sucks. That'd be unbelievable. That'd be great. And then everybody who always agrees with him, no matter what, in this alternate universe is like, yeah, it does suck. What's going on here? That would be great. It'd be great. Unfortunately, we don't have a TARDIS, and I'm not Dr. fucking Who. Oh, well.
You know what, though? It's like, you know what?
Jelly
this
baby?
was so bad, I'm going to make a book now. I'll write a book.
Why
All
the
right,
fuck
anyway.
not? You know, I stubbed my toe down in PCB on Wahoo's belt. Should I write a fucking book about it? I think I should.
You should.
I was minding my own business, trying to go to the bathroom to take a dump and think about 350 days while I'm taking that dump, and I stubbed my toe on Wahoo's belt. That's a book.
Thank you for being
I'm in the
on the
business.
mat, guys. This is the greatest. Listen, there's an example.
Absolutely.
If you're not a wrestling fan and you watch Beyond the Mat, you could become a wrestling fan. If you're not a wrestling fan, you put on 350 days, you'll never watch wrestling again. And that's the fucking truth. You'll go, fuck that. It's as shitty as I thought it was.
Right. So you're like, what you're saying is like somebody unfortunately stumbles across Friendly Angel Come to Me from the original Star Trek as their first
Now you're out of
episode.
line. Now you're out of line. Now you've stepped out of line.
You like Friendly Angel Come to Me?
Oh my God, I love Friendly Angel,
That
dude.
is the worst fucking. That is like in the bottom of the fucking shitstorm. What are you talking
My two
about?
favorites.
That's awful.
The Lincoln episode.
Lincoln's fun.
And Friendly Angel, dude. And when Friendly Angel's face gets all green, come on, dude.
You're insane. Anybody who watches Classic Trek will tell you you're insane. Friendly Angel Come to Me is a terrible episode. It is awful.
Can I tell you what a real work of art is?
The Gorn? That was awful.
No. Sydney Sweeney, dude.
Whoa.
Dude, oh my God, bro. I mean, guys, everybody in the chat room, come on, let's weigh in on Sydney Sweeney. Is she
anybody do any skiing lately? Check out those mountain caps.
Oh my God, dude. She is so fucking smoking.
Yeah.
I can't even take it, bro.
You know, by the way, how does God decide that? By the way, like, you know, in the workshop when he's making people before they're born, does he take an extra week to work on somebody like her instead of spitting something out that looks like me?
You know, that's a really good question. Like, how does that happen? Like,
I don't know.
What? Wait a minute. Let me ask something. How does society go from in the 20s or the 1800s? Everybody loves fat chicks, right? Because like the fat women were hot, right?
Whoa. When did that happen?
Like the 1800s or the early 1900s.
Really?
The pictures were all fat women, dude. Everybody loved fat people. I don't know why.
All right.
But how does it go from that? Well, let me just ask you this, dude. If you hook again, this goes into like, be careful what you ask for. If you're lucky enough to date something like that and be with that, and then you break up, where do you go? Where do you go?
First of all, it's twofold. Did you fall in love with that person, like a girl like that?
Dude, I'd fall in love the minute I slept with her. I'd be like, I love you.
If you did, you're doubly ruined in the end because you're never going to hold on to permanently, for the most part, someone who looks like it's not going to happen.
You're right.
There's too many people knocking on the door. It's just not going to happen. It's not.
And people better than us, right?
Huh?
If I was dating her, James Romero would hit on her. I'd lose.
It's not even about us. It's even about, look, once upon a time, you had the so-called perfect couple in the looks department, too. You had Brad and Angela. How did that work out? It's not going to happen. It's just the law of averages, man. It's not going to happen. So you're going to be heartbroken and ruined. I know you may not believe me, but I'm telling you, I've had girls on that look like they will ruin you. They will ruin you. Stay away. If you want to dabble, go in like kind of robotic and get what you need because they're obviously going to get what they need. If they don't get it from you, they're going to get it from someone else. Someone's always knocking. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that shit, dude. But again, she has literally become my secret like thing. You know what I mean?
Your secret thing, like what?
Let me ask you something. If that piece of shit Evan Ginsberg would have put Sydney Sweeney in 350 days, I would have watched it every 10 minutes. Like I would watch 350 days every day.
I could hear him right now. This isn't about the E in wrestling, Michael. It's about the wrestling. You with your knockers, you perv. And James Brown is a good man. fuck out of here. I hate Vince McMahon. He's a horrible human being. James Brown is awesome. What the fuck? That's not. Have some balance. They're both assholes. What is wrong with you? They're fucking twisted. Okay. Why do? I can't. I can't. I really
Dude, I
can't.
just came up with the best business of all time. You ready?
What? Yeah.
We go and we buy rights to the worst movies ever, and then we just put pictures of Sydney Sweeney in every like 10, like after every minute in the film.
Oh, because I was going to take it. You know, you're funny. Everything with you has to include boobs, which is great. Which is great. But I was thinking to myself, buy up everything that sucks and call it the shit channel. And people,
That's a
there
good idea.
there are people who love to watch bad stuff. You know that, right? People.
Yeah,
There
but
are people out
there's
there.
bad stuff that's so bad it's good. This is
Right.
so bad it's bad. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I tell you
That's
what. We'll get every masochist in the world to like that. That'll happen.
in fact, I would tell you something. I'm going to call President Trump and be like, "Look, man, if you want Iran to just stop, like just give up, just drop loads of 350 days DVDs into Iran. They'll fucking like that's it. We give up. We give up. Take our land, please."
And play on loudspeakers. The military can install loudspeakers of Chubby Tortello's voice, which is really Tweety Bird. When you close your eyes and listen, it's Tweety Bird. It's like
Oh
what the it is. It's
These
fucking
fucking
Tweety
people are
Bird.
so. Listen, me and Jimmy aren't the greatest people in the world, but boy, these people
No.
are just fucked up, man.
Yeah. Well, it's all perception. You know what I mean? It's the self perception thing.
Kevin Nash unloading on TKO and saying that it looks if they ever get rid of Triple H, he's done ever watching wrestling again. What do you think about that?
You know,
On to click this podcast with that good man Sean Oliver, that leftist fool.
I've been listening to the show a lot lately. You know, I mean, Mike, you're going to probably have to ask me if I'm feeling all right because I don't normally listen to other shows, but I'm suddenly finding myself listening to Click This all of a sudden. I like Kevin Nash a lot. I think Kevin Nash is a very smart man, and we both know that Sean Oliver is the greatest. At driving the bus. I'm sure there's a much better word for it than that. Phil will probably type it in now for me.
You hit it on the head.
Yeah, he's and together they're absolutely it's magical. I love it. I'm with Kevin on this because I feel like as much of a look we've discussed when you lose Vince McMahon, you've lost the Beatles as far as what he brought to the big time of this business. You're never going to replace that. The closest thing you can pray for is Triple H. I always felt that Shane should have been the rightful one to do all of this, but that's a whole nother can of worms. But if you do lose Triple H, I don't like the fact that TKO is already sticking their fingers in all over this product because these are not wrestling people, and we've said in the past that would be much worse than anything when we talked about the possibilities of a Disney or one of the the Emirates or something like that. The way they've bought up all the soccer clubs over on the other side. Well, all of a sudden, we're not going to have wrestling people anymore. We're just going to have greedy businessmen, and it's going to fuck our product up. So I'm with Kevin Nash. If we don't have a Triple H at least running this thing for us, then the wrestling know-how, knowledge, life experience, everything that comes with knowing it, growing up in it, like Junior or Triple H has been doing it for decades, it's gone. And if it's gone, we're gone because wrestling will be gone. It's not good. I'm with him. I'm with him on that. Period. You know.
Trail Park says, Jimmy says he's been listening to Click This since it started. He didn't listen this week. He goes, the pod has ran its course and Nash has lost his plot.
You know
Thoughts
what?
on that?
I'll tell you what. He's speaking from his own truth, the comment right there, because he has been watching from the beginning, so he would know whether or not the show is at an up peak or a down peak much better than I would. I'm just finding it interesting now. But I have watched a lot of clips over the years. Don't get me wrong. I still find Kevin Nash interesting. Maybe the show doesn't have the same vibe for you, watching it all these years. I wouldn't know that. I haven't watched it consistently enough to get a full picture on its peaks and valleys. All shows go through that, by the way. I feel like Nash is getting a lot of attention though lately. Mike, am I missing something?
No, he is. He's getting tons of attention.
Okay,
Hellwood Eagle says wrestling has been dead for years. I don't
in a
know if
way,
years, but it's
in a way,
coming now. I can't disagree with him, but I don't know if it's
in a
years.
way. Mike, can I be a little controversial with you? I know how much
Yeah.
you love John Cena, and I've learned to absolutely respect John Cena. But to me, after the basically the ruthless aggression stuff was fine, but when I realized that Cena was going to be the next face of WWE, it didn't feel the same as what Hogan was doing in the 80s with the E and entertainment. I just felt that John was not on a I felt wrestling was changing then because now we were being offered, and I know they're legends now. The resumes have built themselves. Everything's great, and they are great. And it was great. It just wasn't what the past was. You do realize at one point that Hogan Andre, Hogan Savage, Hogan Warrior, Hart Austin, Austin Rock, Austin Michaels, Rock, Hogan, it ended and it became Cena Orton. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember when the WrestleManias were
Yeah.
Cena and Orton, and we've got here Edge is winning the belt, Benoit is winning the belt, and Guerrero are winning the belt, and it was great, but it wasn't on a level, let's be honest, as far as the impact of the E in entertainment. You can't tell me Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero are more famous or had more impact than Austin Rock or Hogan or you know what I'm getting at here. So wrestling has started to change, in my opinion, decline, if you will, from the purist in me for a long time.
So I think, and by the way, trailer says Kurt Angle, Marty Jannetty, RVD have the worst wrestling podcast.
I
Says
don't know.
RVD's co-host is a moron. I
Okay.
can't disagree with that either.
Do you listen to RVD?
I can't. It's just
Okay.
look. I
I
like
haven't-
RVD, and when he was on our show and he did that whole shtick, he was hilarious. But
Yeah, he was.
certain people are better as guests, and other people
Right.
are better as hosts. The
Got it.
reason you like Nash so much is Nash does he can go right, left. He can discuss anything with intelligence. With respect to Marty Jannetty, like you and I have said, he's limited. RVD's limited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Kurt
Yeah,
Angle, I
Marty-
mean, I hate to say
Marty-
it, the fucking guy's brain dead at this point. I mean, he is. He's not in great shape.
Who, Marty?
No, Angle.
Not Marty.
Kurt Angle.
Oh, Angle, yeah. Is he getting worse and worse, Angle? I know
Dude,
Angle's getting a little-
yeah, he just like when he speaks, something's off. There's like
Boy, was
there's
he
something.
great, though. And I
Great,
don't want to take
yeah.
anything away from that era. That era was great, but to me, it was definitely a drop-off from the Attitude Era as far as
See,
the stars and stuff.
Jimmy, when I look at wrestling, I look at this. When you're a kid, you're right, and you're younger, you're very influenced, and you kind of fall in love with stuff, and then you kind of fall out of it, and then you come back to it. But now we're at an age where it's like, it's even like real sports, dude. When I was in my 30s, I loved the Knicks because they were older guys than me.
Mhm.
Now I'm looking at guys that are fucking 30 years younger than me, and I'm just like, whatever, man. I don't know. It's just not my thing.
Yeah. Well, it is different, when you grow older and you don't play the game yourself anymore. I mean, I played ball for 20 years. So I agree with you. Now you're looking at guys. What was so cool about the 90s for us, if I could bore the folks for a second? What was so great about the 90s when the Yankees were winning all those titles, those guys were from our class, basically.
Yes,
they were our
yes.
age.
Right,
Derek
right.
Jeter is our age.
Right.
A lot of these guys are our age. Pettit, they're all gray and silver now. Check them out. The 90s was the last great generation of rock music. Cobain was our age. Axl Rose was our age. Soundgarden, all of them. They were Eddie Vedder. They're all born from when we were born. So it is rough when you get older and you can't play sports anymore and you see, and let's face it, athletes don't conduct themselves the same way anymore. And they have their agents now to make sure they don't overexert themselves. There's a contract to be involved here,
I want you to respond
the
as
same.
Bane says, and Bane, welcome. I was glad to see you. If you look at old wrestling in the 70s and 80s, that was the best wrestling. Today, it's more soap opera and talking and less wrestling. But wait a minute, I want to say this. I do
agree.
want to say this, dude.
I do agree.
I put on those old wrestling matches, dude. They suck. Okay,
Mike.
you're not going to tell me that you're enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what's weird? I guess I'm not going to help you out here, but I think you'll still find it awesome, though. For some reason, the last couple of nights, and I've been going in and out of my, you know how I go back and forth with wrestling,
Right.
man. And for some reason, it was almost like just take some medicine, maybe you'll feel better, kind of thing. I threw on 1981 when we first met, and I caught the episode where Sergeant Slaughter's doing the Cobra Clutch Challenge. And do you remember a scrub named Jack Carson? Because that's what we
Yeah,
called him back
I
then.
do. Yeah.
So Jack Carson does the challenge, and of course they're screaming Gomer at Sarge, and Jack gets out of the chair, and you know what I thought of when Michaels had that hold on me, and you're like, "Get up!" And I'm like,
Yeah.
so,
Right.
so poor Carson gets up, and boy, did it look fucking
Yeah, but bro, that's
1,000%.
not
Wait,
fair.
let me
You
finish though.
good, good, good.
Let me finish. It looks 1,000% real, by the way. You believe what you're looking at. I still do. And when I was looking at it, I was like, this looks good, you know? So he taps him out. Did you know our good buddy Ron Shaw, who I think, you flushed him down the toilet on the last time he was around? Ron Shaw comes out immediately after. And before Ron can get in the ring, Sergeant Slaughter grabs Joe McHugh and tries to put him in the Cobra Clutch.
Damn.
Joe McHugh. Joe McHugh gets mad and runs over and starts poking at him. This was all fantastic.
But
And
you're being unfair. You're
What do you
looking
mean?
at the Cobra Clutch Challenge. I mean,
It was good.
okay. Look, man, when I watch old school wrestling,
better than any. I'd rather watch that than any EO match. I'm
I
sorry.
agree. I agree with you 100%.
All
I
right.
could watch Piper Hogan. I could watch
Yeah.
Kerry Von Erich. I could
Yeah.
watch Kevin Von Erich. I could watch Cobra Clutch Challenge. I could watch every Piper's Pit.
Right,
If you put
right.
every Piper's Pit from the first one to the last one, I'd watch every one of them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry. I told you, I tried to watch Morocco against Backlund. I'm like, I can't watch this.
Oh, no, really? Not the one we were at? That was great.
Dude, it's just not the same. Anyway.
Did you find the Texas Death Match on
Yeah,
YouTube?
it's there. You can see that.
I got to take a look now. I remember us loving it. Weren't there some close calls? We thought
Yeah, but
Morocco
it's
was-
not, dude. It's just not the same. And by the way, B40 says getting old sucks. I struck out playing slow pitch last week, swinging. Look, man, it happens to all of us. I remember I used to play football, and then eventually I was playing flag football. And when I first met my wife, she used to come to the games. And at one point, I just knew I lost it. I literally just walked off the field. So it sucks.
Right.
You know what? Now we just try to beat everybody at this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Good shit, Jimmy. You're making me laugh
yeah.
tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
you
all right, man.
To the crowd out there, man.
WWE has now gone after reaction streamers, people using WWE content, and they're striking stuff out, right? Cultaholic, WrestleTalk. Yeah, dude,
Wow.
it's some of the channels that have been affected. Let me give you some of the names. And this is even before, even before these what do you call it? These fucking these reaction video people. But let me name you some of the segments here.
Oh, I believe it already, though. Cultaholic is definitely a name out there that I recognize.
Cultaholic, WrestleTalk.
WrestleTalk.
Let me see who else. WrestleCough. Yes.
Forgot WrestleCough. What's wrong with you?
Hold on.
Well, numerous to say, obviously.
Well, here we go. I'm sorry. Cultaholic, WrestleTalk, What Culture Wrestling, Fightful, Post Wrestling, Denise Salcedo. Let's pop up old Denise here, right?
Wow.
Hello. JD from New York. No, dude, she's a fucking pig. Going Raw, Wrestling Regret, Two Heat, and Sportskeeda Wrestling. So Denise Salcedo's popular, right? Because you know what? Here's the deal. Let's be honest. Throw your tits out. Right? Just throw your fucking giant ass tits out.
I got a hairy chest. I can't
hope these horny guys, dude, I'm sorry. These fucking reaction videos, dude. Like, again, we've talked about this. Who the fuck sits there and watches someone watch wrestling?
I have a lot of different feelings about this. What direction? I guess I'll go in the first direction you're telling me here. to drive down this road. This road, I agree with you 1,000%. I do not understand why anyone would tune in to watch someone else watching something. It makes absolutely no sense. Do you go to a game, Mike? Do you go to a game like Yankee Stadium and decide I'm going to watch the guy next to me watching the game instead of the game? I hope I'm making sense out there to you folks, because this is like fucking Alice in Wonderland. We've taken too many mushrooms, fucking fairy tale kind of shit. And yeah, if I had boobs, I'd throw them out too. But like I said, I'm Greek. I have a hairy chest. So much for my opportunities, Mike. All right.
Listen, dude, Blonde Wheezy, we've spoke about it, right? So she's one of the more popular reaction videos. In fact, the WWE is so funny. They're giving these people strikes, but they're putting their content on their show when they have a reaction. But it's like, I decided to see, when I heard that they were doing this, I said, I noticed some channels were like complaining. So I said,
Right.
let's see what Blonde Wheezy's doing. Jimmy, so if anyone everybody knows what a reaction video is. What they do a lot of times is they'll flash some of the show, and then they cut video when they're
Right.
talking about it, reacting. They'll put on the
The
bottom
highlights,
the highlight
reaction.
that they're reacting
The
to.
highlight reaction. Absolutely.
Blonde
Makes sense.
Wheezy is doing her show. And again, still 300 people watching. She pulls out a guitar and she's just playing guitar as she's watching wrestling. Dude, you know what? I'm sorry. You talk about AI, you talk about this. There's literally, bro, no talent for this. I mean, look, I know she's on Busted Open Radio, whatever. This girl is a fucking talentless hack. I am sorry. She's
Busted
a
open or
talented
busting
hack.
out? Busted open or busting out? Because that picture suggests
dude,
something.
let me tell you something, okay? There's nothing worse than an average-looking girl trying to look hot.
Yeah. Well,
Dude, she's not a good-looking girl. I'm telling you. I grabbed literally the best
didn't-
picture.
Right. I didn't say she was, but basically it's like, look, Jugs.
Yeah, listen, that's what. Here's still. I would say this to them: go on camera, pull out your titties,
Sorry.
shake them around, and talk about wrestling. Then you'll entertain me. Entertain me,
shake.
bitch. Right?
Shake.
Fucking
Shake those
dude.
taters.
Dude,
Shake those taters.
Oh my God, I just can't. I can't. When we were at the big event, there was a guy who's one of those reaction guys. I guess he lives on the island.
Right.
I don't even understand how people watch these guys, Jimmy. I got to be honest with you. The guy looks like this is the guy. Let me. They AI'd him a little bit, but what does this guy look like to you? Would you watch this guy? I could see maybe watching her, I guess, but you're gonna watch this guy?
No, because then you just start to stamp out the premise of this whole thing, and it's like no, that you don't watch someone watching something that you could be watching yourself. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like I said, if you go to a live event, are you going to decide to watch the guy next to you watching the event, or are you going to turn your head and watch the event? It makes no sense to me. None. So, but I also will say this, if I can play devil's advocate, I do not, and I don't know how you're going to react to this. I do not approve of WWE trying to snuff this out. I think that's fucking bully. That's bullshit. What do you fucking care if they do it? Because you also pointed out they're taking some of those things and putting it on their program themselves. I think it's free advertisement. And if this is what people want to watch, what are you picking on these people for? Let them have their fucking channel and let them do what they do.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask you something. You right? How would you like someone taking your? Yeah, but wait a minute. How would you like someone taking your music and making money off of it? Without giving you action for it.
My music and making money off it, but nobody's going to do a channel of somebody sitting and listening to fucking Wisteria Hall. Hey,
wait a minute, but Jimmy,
you've
got these reaction video people's cleaning house using your content.
So let me ask you a question. So you know what? You're opening up an interesting can of worms, because there are some do you watch any of I have found these reaction videos interesting. People who listen to a certain kind of music for the first time. There are some channels out there that are very successful with this, and I am now wondering how they get away with it, because, like, for example, there's this awesome brother. His name is Polo, I think. He's got a really good channel and he's successful at it. And he's really smart. And for the first time ever, like he was listening to Won't Get Fooled Again from The Who, watching
Right.
their live performance for the classic one from back in the day where it's just, oh my God. And he was critiquing it and loving it. He was like, when Daltrey hits the scream, he's never heard that before. His background, he explained, was like different form of music than rock. This guy's got a million kabillion views. Should he be allowed to do what he's doing?
Jimmy, me thinks you be tricked.
What do you mean?
Dude, okay. You listen, you've got a sharp ear for music.
Right.
You're a good sports guy.
What do you
Okay?
Just get to the fucking point.
Here's the point. You put on music. Here's your headset.
Yeah.
You put it on.
Yeah.
You hear something very incredible. I don't know if that's good English, but
yeah, okay.
Your reaction is like, right?
Yeah.
Not this.
Oh no, Polo's wasn't that either. No, that's way different.
Like the reaction video. Here comes the wrestle. Oh my God! Oh my God!
I can't stand any of that.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
So, but I'm raising to you a business question. Okay, so you're agreeing with me that music reactionary videos are a whole different ball of wax and can be pretty cool. But what about the royalties when they're showing The Who? Can't someone come in and go, you can't have that video up anymore? That's a great video.
So
can't that happen on that side too?
As a creator, right now on our channel, I don't like
the canceling stuff. That bothers me.
But I want to share with something. We've from time to time put up WWE videos, but we show a short clip and we commentate it. There's a fair use you're allowed to use, okay?
Right.
But you can't sit there showing a product and going like this.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that. I guess I agree.
And you know, that's the other. Wait a minute, but that's the other thing, man. And I'm being serious about this. It's like women want these women. They want these women. Here's two of the most popular ones, right? They want to be taken seriously, but they make sure on every one of their episodes they're throwing their tits out there. They're fucking, oh my God, it's Roman Reigns, and meanwhile a nipple is in the camera. It's like, oh, there's Roman Reigns. Oh, come on, Jimmy.
It's the OTC with the OMG.
Yes. You know what it is? It's non-talent. It's bad acting. And here's the best joke of it. Jimmy and I have never fell into the trap where we thought we were something special. We opened up the show talking about how this bus, with everybody's help, has been fairly successful. Not to a point where we're rich, but not even a point that really anything. It's just we've done some stuff. Do we compare ourselves to Denise? We haven't been to a WWE press conference. But again, I don't have a pair of tits. I'm sorry. I mean, let's get real. And I'm being fucking honest. I'm a fucking old man, right? But the deal is there's no talent there.
Yeah.
There's no talent. So here's the thing. These people catch on, and all of a sudden, listen, if you get a couple of million views, we'll talk about this guy in a minute, like James Romero, you're probably pulling in on YouTube alone a couple of grand a month, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now, again, I don't know who could live on that, but you know what I mean? If you live on the island, if you live somewhere else, maybe, right? But
not here.
But the fact of the matter is, right, you're like, oh shit, I could be a job as a YouTuber and be popular. The thing I'm laughing about now is now it's been taken away from you. Now you got to get a real job, motherfucker. Now you got, and I mean it. It's like, good. Yeah. Now with again, to me, it's unfair that someone can sit there and fucking watch a fucking show and make $5,000. Number one, even if we could, Jimmy, I couldn't do it. Say you said, hey, Mike, I got this thing, and if we do this, people will watch us watching TV.
I would never say it.
I'd be like, I can't do this.
Never say it. I don't know if saying it's unfair is really the right term for how I feel about it. I feel about it that, look, I'm probably worse than you when it comes to this whole subject, because honestly, if it was up to me to allow it to be on the forum, let's say I'm in charge of the forum, the answer is no. Because I can't get past, I don't want people sitting and watching other people watch something. Watch it yourself. What is wrong with you? That's getting to a point where weirdness in society is coming into it. And I'm going to go, no. So I guess I'm being a totalitarian in this. No, it's fucking weird. I never understood it at all, ever. But I still don't feel good about. All right, and the reason why I don't feel good about it with the WWE is when you say WWE to me now, I don't think Vince anymore. I think TKO, and they're already removing a lot of things that are were working for whatever was left of fans' enthusiasm for this business. Are you following me? Whether it was going to charge for all these apps, whether it was doing what they're doing with the live house money and the prices they're charging and all the shit they're doing. Now they want to grab a hold of these people and strangle them. I'm not. It's not Vince.
But
I don't
Jimmy,
trust them.
You got guys like that asshole fucking what's his name? What a Day Joe. All he does is take WWE videos, and now he's actually trying to put interviews with like he's interviewing Liv Morgan. It's like, dude, it's not right. And B40 says, want to make money, hire some hot broad to pretend that she likes wrestling to do reaction, weirdo neckbeards. You know what, B40, we tried it. Me and Jimmy aren't that stupid. We tried it. No. We brought her onto the channel, and it was the worst fucking mistake of our life. It was a fucking horror show.
I watched from afar. Thank God.
It was a horror show, though, right, Jimmy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever.
Oh my God.
You know what? Even the wrestlers with reputations, good reputations and stuff. It's hard enough to get things working right. Come on, stop it. The whole business.
But Jimmy, I got to be honest with you, bro. I disagree with you. If it's someone's material, you shouldn't be able to take it.
Oh, and again, no, I didn't say that, Mike. I did not say that. I guess I'm dancing in shadows here. I'm wrestling with shadows.
Yeah,
but,
good.
But to me, I'm not happy that it's happening because I don't like what the squeeze that I feel that TKO is doing. Because when you say WWE, I don't hear WWE anymore, Mike. I'm hearing TKO. What does that tell you about where I'm at with them? All right.
I want your thoughts on this. I want your thoughts on this post and tell me how you think it would go. You ready?
Okay. What's this?
Make this big.
I can't see any of this. You'll have to
I'm going to read it out loud. To all the influencers that are getting their accounts banned and striked, it is easy to stop watching WWS to do reactions to AEW. But I want to challenge something bolder. I want every person that has a significant reach to start reacting to independent wrestling. This is the shift that we need to do, that we need to give Tony Khan our money. We don't need to give it to TKO. We got to give it to the independent asshole. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that's right. I want to watch that.
Right. You think the wrestlers are not safe at the WWE? Wait till you get a load of the local high school.
What a fucking comment. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
The local territory guys, there is no territories anymore. It's Passaic. Don't go to Passaic. The guy's awful. You don't even get food coupons. Come on.
Let's do reaction videos to. We do reaction videos. I picture
myself on a pair of skis. Am I like trapped in the 70s cartoons? I was like skiing downhill when I see that. What?
Dude, I just want to be like, fuck. Dude, I got to tell you, when I saw Blonde Wheeze, I was so happy that these people are getting fucked. Like, I'm happy. I was like, thank God.
Well, you know something? Can I tell you why I'm happy?
But wait, Jim, I just got to say it again. I want to reiterate it because I do tell people to go to the video. She pulls out a fucking guitar. And she's like this. It's under a tit. She's like hitting it with her tit. It's like, come on, man.
Does she sing like Green?
She doesn't do shit, dude. She's a fucking dopey bitch. Sorry.
Wow. Well, you said something in that statement you were reading there that made me immediately go completely, absolutely with you. All you influencers out there, I hear you influencers lead such interesting lives. Influencers. I have always hated that term, and that term's been around a lot longer than people think. I hate that term. I'm an influencer. You mean you're a bullshit artist that people jump on board with? Is that what you meant to say to me? I'm from fucking New York. You tell me you're an influencer. You have influenza? Get the fuck away from me.
Dude, the world's been full of influencers. Let's go through it. Hitler.
You know something? Okay. Now, oh boy. What a can of worms you've opened. If Adolf Hitler walks up to me and goes, I'm an influencer, I'd say, fuck yeah, you are. I'm out of here. All right? That's an influencer.
That's an influencer.
Charles Manson was an influencer.
Charles Manson was. Could you imagine if Charles Manson had a YouTube channel, dude? Forget about it.
Yeah, but now you have Booby Bobby going, I'm an influencer. Check out my pose, my nipple with Roman. What do you think? Left side boob or right?
Jimmy, let me ask you something. And even in your youngest days, do you ever remember watching a wrestling match where you went,
No.
I mean, it goes to the level when CM Punk came out to AEW and the dude is sitting there crying. Right. It's like, oh my God. Like, you lost your man card, bro. You're done. It's like, if I was standing next to that guy, I would have just punched him right in the fucking face. Wow. Come on, bro.
Wow.
Come on, stop.
You would have been a social villain. They would have had the guy's crying. He was crying. Don't you see the trolling? He was crying and that big fat guy hit him. He's an
I take
he probably
umbrage.
voted for Trump.
Yeah, you're right. I can't do
There you go.
Dude, I can't do it anymore. I just can't. It's a fucking loony land. It's loony land. It's loony land, everybody.
I can't even back out of my driveway. There was some strange guy at 5 o'clock in the morning staring at me from across the street. I thought to myself, what have I done lately? What did I do lately? I was like, I don't think so.
Some other news. Our friend James Romero, he's going hot and heavy now on YouTube because
he's so angry.
He's struggling, dude. He is struggling. So, again, he does at least one video a day. He gets about 50,000 views. So you're talking about 3 million views. So if I know the math right, he's probably making himself about $3,500, which is good little living, right? Yeah. But you have a wife, you have a kid, right? You got to pay Dutch Mantel. You got to pay Stevie Richards, right? Yeah. So in the end result, okay, say he walks away with $4,000 a month, right? Because you got membership, everything else, right?
Right.
$4,000 a month. That's $1,000. That's $1,000 a month. No, it's $1,000 a week, right? Yeah, dude, sweating. Time to get on your forklift, James. And I gotta tell you, bro, too. The guy is, dude. The more and more I watch this guy, he's the biggest arrogant piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just being honest, Jimmy. I know you do find his video quality good, but again, anybody could do post videos. Okay.
Yeah. I can hear the pressure at the house, though.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Because there's nothing worse than an angry English lass. Oh my God! Could you imagine? You fucking bum! Get the fuck out there and start delivering biscuits again. I can hear it. Like,
listen, I would put up the video. I have some audio of him, but lately people have been saying we AI'd animals, which is a lie. It is not an AI, but there is an audio we have of him yelling at his 3-year-old child saying, "If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. If you don't eat your meat,
don't eat your meat. If you don't eat your meat."
Hello, I'm James Romero, and I like to do clickbait videos. And because I'm from England, I think, look at that fucking hair, dude. I'm gonna fucking piss on that guy's face. Fucking hate that guy. I hate him.
He didn't get
by the way.
For the joke.
By the way, he's a subscriber to the Monte The Pharaoh YouTube page. By the way, and he's also bullshit. And he's also a subscriber to the Monte The Pharaoh TikTok page. And guess what?
He's got to take notes.
What's that?
He's got to take notes. They all do that, you know.
Well, here's the thing, dude. He's very like, he names like everybody knows Cultaholic, right? Everybody that's in the wrestling world knows. He says in his last video about Cultaholic, I've never watched that show because I'm a creator. Asshole, you subscribe to Monte The Pharaoh. Why do you subscribe to Monte The Pharaoh? Because, asshole, you watch us, you dickhead. It's like, come on, man. What the fuck?
You know who does? You know who does in the house? The lady. She's like, you unsubscribe to that. Now rip your testicles off. I hate them. You know, like the argument and during the football match on Saturday mornings.
His stupid ass fucking Shawn Michaels tattoo. It's like, dude, you're a dick. What a dick.
Oh my God.
But you know what I love about it, Jimmy? I love it. You know why? Because last year, because he was making so much money with Dutch, and Dutch is dying, right? So
oh no.
That's over, right? So bye, Dutch. Gotta go. Gotta go, Dutch.
So does that mean it's time for him to break out a guitar and like sing us a Wallflower song, like when
No,
he
but
lost his own?
when him and Dutch were making all that money on podcasting, right? He took a trip to New York, from England to New York. Guy's got
did?
cash. He's got scratch, bro.
He was in New York. Let him come in. Oh, New York lets everybody in. Sorry, I forgot where I
But
was.
now that his cash cow Dutch Mantel is done, what are you gonna do, bro? It's over.
I don't know.
Times
What's wrong
to
with
get a
Dutch?
job.
I don't like hearing that. I didn't realize
He's
Dutch
ill.
was sick.
He's been ill. He's been in and out of the hospital, dude.
Oh wow, I don't pay attention.
That's why you don't see a lot of story times with Dutch Mantel anymore.
Well, that's not good to hear.
Oh, poor Dutch. Bye,
It's
Dutch.
not good to hear. I mean,
I'm not. Listen,
he's
I'm not
Yosemite Sam. I mean,
bro.
come on.
I'm
That guy's
not
like
wishing.
one
I'm
of a
not.
kind.
I'm not wishing death on Dutch Mantel. If that's what
well,
you
that's
think.
good.
But you know what? He's sick. I feel bad.
I wish I knew what was going on with Todd Gordon. What the hell's going on with Todd Gordon?
I don't know, bro.
That's a whole other story.
You know what? I got to reach out. So let me ask you before.
Maybe we should ask Bubba the Love Sponge. What do you think?
Oh, that another fucking piece of shit. Listen, guys, there's so many pieces of shit out there. Help us. Someone save us. Wait a minute. What does B40 got to say about Dutch? He's going to make Dutch record twice a day to build up contact before you know what? Oh, my God. B40, you're so right. He's like, Dutch, you're dying. We got to record content. Let me get 1 year's. Let me get 1 year's worth. Oh, my God.
He walks into the hospital to see Dutch, and Dutch is lying there, and he thinks to himself, because James walks in with a brown bag, Mike. He's got a brown bag, and he thinks to himself, he's like, wow, maybe James brought me something. And James pulls out a tape recorder. Hello, Dutch. Dutch is thinking to himself, I'm fucking dying here. What the fuck is this guy doing? So
no, he just acts like nothing's going on. He just secretly puts a video camera.
Alive.
Dutch, I'm really worried about you. I came back to the States just to see if you're okay. Meanwhile, he's like recording them so he could put up.
It's a whole documentary.
The last days of Dutch Mantel. You know those will be on there.
There's a whole. He's got himself on the plane in like fifth class. I don't know if there is a fifth class.
Listen, let me ask you this, Jimmy. Be 100%. I know, Jimmy. Sometimes you don't like to make fun, but you got to be honest here.
What?
In what world is this guy friends with this guy? Come on. It's not even possible.
In the wrestling world where nothing makes sense. How about that? You want
It's not normal for a 33 arrogant piece of shit to be friendly with an old fuck who's dying. I mean, come on. It's not human. It's not normal, dude. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, welcome to this wonderful wacky universe we've lived through it and seen for 1 billion years now.
It makes me sad. But let me ask you, who's worse? Hannibal or Romero? Who's worse?
Oh, Hannibal's much worse than Romero.
Wait, but let me give you the tale of tape. Who's the better interviewer, Romero or Hannibal?
Romero.
By far? We're doing head-to-head. We're doing head-to-head. This is head-to-head. We're redoing because I got to do it.
I'm enjoying it already.
Okay.
I'm enjoying
Monte
it
The Pharaoh present head-to-head. James Romero against Hannibal. All right.
This is all organically
back of the baseball card.
Sure.
Hannibal.
Why not?
Wait a minute. Mike skills. Romero or Hannibal?
By a mile. Romero by a mile.
I agree with you. One for Romero, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Matt skills. Romero.
Well,
or Hannibal.
Here's the sad reality. If James would just go in the ring once and not get hurt, he would have passed Hannibal, but he hasn't. So I got to go with Vince Russo and Hannibal on this one. You ain't never laced up a pair of boots, bro. You've never been in the back. You don't know shit, bro. So Hannibal gets that one. There he is.
All right, it's 1-1.
Vince, go ahead.
You like him until he doesn't show up on our show, and then that will all change.
Gonna show up. I know he hates us. It's really unfortunate. I feel like Rich Kotite in 1996.
Poor Jimmy. After we get on this show, he goes, "Think of all these other guests we'd have if Mike Monty wasn't such a dickhead."
Why's that? I don't exactly hold back when I get upset with Vince Russo either. I still like and respect what he's done, but he's a douche about it. What's his
All right.
problem?
We got 1-1. Okay.
Yeah, it's 1-1. This is silly though. Match skills. What kind of stupid
Hey,
category is
listen,
that?
it's head to head. I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah, all right.
What's the
I
next
don't
one?
know. You want to do back in the baseball card?
Back of the
But you got
baseball
to.
card.
Okay, but we're talking about shows. We're not talking about in Matt skills. Obviously, no,
No, we're
duh,
talking
no shit,
podcasting.
Sherlock.
Back of the baseball
Okay,
card
right.
podcasting.
In
It's
podcasting,
tough.
back
It's
of the baseball
close.
card,
It's close.
it's very close. It's close. I prefer Romero. I would rather have his back of the
Wait a
baseball
minute. It's
card.
back of the baseball card.
I would
Hannibal's
rather
been
have his
around
back of.
longer.
I would no. I would rather have his back because James has gotten to numbers. Listen, at the end of the day, it's how much do you really want, and when is too much, and when are you getting too greedy? Look, they've both done very well. I would rather be in James's position with his library. Quite honestly, that's me.
I'm gonna
He
go with
gives better
Hannibal.
interviews. The
No, we're
back
not
of the
talking
baseball
about
card.
that. You
Okay,
gave him
Mike. I
Mike
guess.
skills. You gave him Mike skills already. That's not Mike
Yeah,
skills.
but no. Stay with me. Okay, the back of the baseball card when you're building a what? Follow me. A channel, right? Okay. The back of the baseball card is your content, your library. What did we always want? And what do we have now? A great library. Okay, so I'm going to ask you when it comes to Mike, you got to stay with me on this. If it comes to your library, your content, who did a better job in their library? They both have an immense library of guests. So that to me is a wash. So then I ask myself, who did the better shows? James. James has a better show in part due to his mic skills, but also, I don't know if we're going to get to this, but I'm probably going to mix this in with the next categories, his knowledge. Yeah, the guy who was never in the ring knows plenty about wrestling. Sorry, Hannibal, and I'd rather hear him break it down, just like the way I'd rather have these two guys from New York break down wrestling than you, Hannibal, bro.
All right,
That's
so
how I feel.
James gets the nod. By the way,
To me, he does.
Lee
It's close,
James
though. I
says,
mean, just on volume.
Lee
And Hannibal
James
had a huge
says,
impact, too, obviously.
hey, Monty, not to bust your bubble, but Dutch is doing well. He just went to
Good.
Backlash in Tampa, where he
Good.
lives the premium live event, and he even
All
got
right, good.
backstage and hung with big names like Cena, Triple H, you name it. Oh, well, then I stand corrected, sir. I
Good.
appreciate that,
No, that's
Lee
great.
James.
Thank you.
But B40 says, hey, yeah, Lee, he was saying goodbye to everyone.
Oh, shit. Well, wet to you. Wet. Oh, my God.
All right. Oh,
B40 with
boy.
the big bomber. Oh, my
Big
God.
40 with the big. Okay, so I'm going with Hannibal. You got, so we're split 2-1. Now we're going overall. No, It Factor. It Factor is next.
I got to give that to Hannibal.
Well,
think about it. Do you want a presentation? He's a walking car accident.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It Factor.
So
It's
he
not,
was.
to me, that's a
I've got
blowout.
I've got it a drawer, and you've got him up 3-1, right?
Yeah, 3-1. And then we
Right.
have overall influence on the industry.
That's got to be Hannibal.
So the winner is
The winner's Hannibal.
Hannibal.
Yeah. You see, we're responsible about this. I feel like
That's right.
I feel like James has better skills and conducts a better interview and is very good with his knowledge and how he goes about asking his questions. He's a better interview watch for me. Hannibal, I've never really liked this interview deal, but that's me. You know, I'm impressed with his
We're being
success,
what's the heat with Dutch? We have no heat with Dutch.
No, none at all. But didn't he cancel on us like 3 or 4 times when we were supposed to have him on?
Well, nah, just twice. But no, my only problem with Dutch is my only problem with Dutch is he, first of all, number
He don't
one,
like us.
he has an inflated ego about his wrestling career. He sucked, and people give him too much. He really sucked. He was a hairy back wrestler. No one likes hairy back wrestlers. Okay, they don't go.
George Steele was great. What are you talking about?
That is true. I apologize, George Steele.
Nobody likes hairy back wrestlers. Yeah, do much shading over the.
It's just
the
gross,
horizon?
dude. It's like that's why you shave.
Wait a minute.
It's like
Hold
gross.
on. Who else had a hairy back besides George Steele? Let's go.
Ooh, there's plenty. Let me think. Who had hairy backs?
Morocco, when he didn't shave his back, had a hairy back.
Did he really?
Yeah, I could see patches sometimes on like shave your. Who did they used to? Oh, Albert. Remember when they used to yell "shave your back" at Albert back in the?
Oh yeah, yeah. He fucking had a nasty,
Yeah,
fucking hairy
he was
back.
hairy. That was a hairy guy.
All right, I'm gonna give you the 10 hairiest wrestlers of all time.
You looked it up.
Yeah, I am. Hold on.
Cool.
All right, here we
This
go.
should be good, folks.
Okay,
Stand by with
number
your
one,
razors.
number 10, Wild Bill Curry.
Okay, well, he ate a lot of curry. I guess it makes you hairy.
You know who Wild Bill Curry was, right?
Yeah, I don't remember Wild Bill Curry.
Number 9, shockingly, George the Animal Steel.
He should be number 1. Stop it. Go on.
Number 8, Haystacks Calhoun. He was hairy. I don't remember him.
He
being hairy.
always wore overalls and a shirt. How the fuck are we supposed to tell?
Guess he
Go
was
on.
hairy. Oh, number 7, Killian Dane.
Killian Dane?
Isn't that what's his name? Who's the guy that was on our show that dated Melina?
That's a hell of a clue.
The guy that dated Melina, dude. The fucking guy that was on our couch, talked about Melina and Shawn Michaels fucking him. What was his name?
He was hairy? Well, he wore a shirt that day.
I think he was hairy. John Studd at number 6. John Studd was hairy. He did have hairy. He was very
he
hairy.
was hairy. He was like a big grizzly bear.
I don't know.
worked
Some guy in the UK at number 5.
Who's
Elias. Elias is hairy.
Really?
I guess. He's hairy.
I don't
At
recall.
number 4. I'm really looking forward to number 1. This is exciting.
George Steele should have been number 1.
Seth Rollins at number 3. Seth is
Dude,
hairy.
these people shave. How the fuck are we supposed to know? Seth Rollins doesn't have a hairy back when he's on. I've never seen Seth Rollins with a hairy back.
Well,
Who wrote
I'm
this?
just telling
list?
you the ranking. Dave
Timothy Leary write
Mastis.
this?
Dave Mastis is number 2.
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with this hair thing. George Steele doesn't
You know what? This is a lame list. I give up. That's
Who
terrible.
was number 1? You don't stop at number 2. Who's number 1?
All right, number 1 is some dude by the name of. If you know him, I'm going to say you're the king.
Okay.
Terrible Ted.
I haven't. It sounds so awful. Terrible.
Terrible Ted.
Yeah,
Come
no.
on, dude. This is
Who made that list? That's a terrible
bullshit.
list. See, and they get it on the internet. Everybody's out there, Mike. This is awful. That list was a waste of space.
You know, these are just hairiest wrestlers. I was looking like for the hairiest backed wrestlers.
Oh, please don't get more specific with that stupid computer.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Oh, you meant
10
that.
wrestling
Oh.
careers that damaged by the. Oh. Fucking stupid. You know what? I'm banning the internet. I'm done. Oh, wait a minute. Lee James says Scott Hall was so hairy.
Yeah.
He didn't pour water out himself. Kevin Nash said that all the liquid was dripping off him was his grandpa. I don't know.
What did Grandpa do?
Wait a minute. Number 1, Daniela Petro.
Wale bale. Wale bale.
You know, I got to tell you, man, when we talked about her, man, she was hot. And then you found out she was wearing that wig. I was like, ugh, forget it.
I don't know. I had finally had a swimming pool when that was all going down, and I contemplated jumping in it with a cement thing tied to my ankle.
That's a great idea. Well, anyway, on a serious note, we want to wish all those wrestling reaction video people. There's plenty of jobs out there. Get going. There's plenty of work. Time to go. And for the more, the women that are still young, pull them out, just yank them out, so these freaks will just,
OnlyFans.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the deal. That's a fact too. You're not hot enough for OnlyFans, so you do a wrestling pod. Is that what happens here?
You'll find a few schmucks on OnlyFans. Go on OnlyFans.
Look at you talking about OnlyFans. I'm not on OnlyFans. All right. Jimmy,
No,
great show.
I mean, I'm sure they can find it. Look, there's a lot of weirdos out there, man.
We covered a lot again. Great job. We'll see you next week. I'm very excited. Probably going to have a guest on, just trying to finish booking them up. I'll keep sending messages to Morocco. Please, Don, come on.
What? I don't know.
Just got an email from ECW Press. Vince Russo will not be coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you. I told you.
No, I'm just kidding. Do you
Now
think
you can turn the program off, Vince. Good night, bro.
next week, special guest Lee Cole will be here.
Yeah, sure. Great. No, I'm not doing it. You already know that. I'm done with it. I don't want to hear about Lee Cole. You know, maybe I was too rough, guys, and like let's be friends again. And again, did I mention the word again? No, no,
Next
no.
week on our show, we'll be airing the 350 Days movie in its
Yeah.
entirety.
Wait a minute. Let's make it the worst of. We'll air 350 days. We'll put in commercials voiced over by Joe Whataday and Benny, and we'll do Benny too. And what else can we put on there that's absolutely horrendous? We could do all sorts of things. I mean, let's add to it.
Listen,
Like we could do.
the best thing about Benny is like I was too lazy to do the commercials myself, so I said you do it, and then he would say, "Well, how did I do it?" We go, "Oh, you were great." Then the worst shit when I
No,
when
it's
I
not
ever
even.
like
It,
so
it's not
bad
even that. The funniest part is that you still air them once in a while. I'm like, what are you doing?
because I
I'm like, I don't
forget,
want to
dude.
hear
I'm
this.
old. I forget, and when I hear him, I go like this. No, first of all, I don't. Okay, here's the problem. I cut video. And sometimes those commercials are in the previous video. And I
Ah.
forget they're there. So when I make it, it shows up and it's like, I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst sounding shit ever. I don't know.
Looking for some new veneers? Cool, doctor. I can't. I fucking can't.
Forget it.
Hey, what about Ralph's sausage? Wink, wink. Hey, somebody buy Ralph's sausage. I make the best sauce. Don't you get it? Don't you
I'll
see
take
the
a picture.
double innuendo
I'll take a
there,
picture
folks?
off the internet and I'll put it up in a still and try to do some of my lame jokes. Get the fuck out of
It's
here.
like a Facebook post. Look what I had for breakfast. We don't care.
Here's the best part about the show. We go after guys like Romero and we go after guys like Benny Scala. Two ends of the
Well,
scale.
you do most of the time. I was just asking you about the terrible commercials I've been hearing. That's all. I'm just making an observation.
By the way, for people out there, I reached out to Evan Ginsberg's partner from whatever Wrestling
bent.
East the Coast, and I said, "Hey,
Please,
why
is
don't you
that
come
you?
on the show and have a conversation with me and Jimmy?" It started such a fire. I would
I
love to
hate
post it, but
you.
this guy was like literally crying. I hate you, Monty.
You guys treated me worse than Sylvester. Get the fuck out of here, Sylvester. Yeah, Sylvester. Trey, I thought a terrible podcaster. I did.
I've done more in my life than you'll ever do. I was a wrestling manager in California. I didn't get paid, but I was you were never a wrestling manager, Monty. I
Oh,
was in
come
the
on.
business. I'm
I
in the
can't.
biz. I'm in
Yeah,
the
of
biz,
course.
everybody.
Right. You and the Dylan Hines kid.
Oh, Dylan Hines. You know, whenever you let a guy like that in there, man, forget about it. You know what? You know what is Vince Russo going to say? What's Vince Russo going to say? Oh, Dylan Hines is in the business. Get the fuck out of here. Just stop it.
Please.
Listen,
Please.
Anyway, Jimmy, great show.
Sweater vest down by the water. What a memory.
Sweater vest. I have this video. I just want to see what this is. I don't know what this is. Oh, I you know what? I can't see, so I'm like, what is this?
What am I putting up?
I don't know.
Come on.
That. What is this?
Hey, wrestling fans, it's been brought to my attention there's another guy running around trying to be me. Well, it doesn't work. Often imitated, never duplicated. There's only one, the one and only, Doink the Clown. Now, as far as the wrestling business, some of us had to work to get where we are, and some of us got there other ways. And Lombardi, I know you had a friend in the office. His name was Mr. Patterson. He helped you along a lot of ways.
That's some mean commentary by our friend there, man. What's that all about?
He's a nice guy. He stopped the little guy from molesting me.
Dude, can I ask you? We never really talked about much. What'd you think of that Lombardi interview we did?
We have talked about it, and we decided that if that ever happens again, it'll be good. Good, go.
But I mean, on the overall interview, what did you think about it?
I thought everything was okay. Was just okay with him. Everything was all right. It was that moment where I was like, "What the fuck?"
Do you think he sucked Pat Patterson's penis?
I don't really give a shit. You want my initial reaction? I don't give a fuck what he did. I don't give a fuck what he did. Pat Patterson supposedly was very faithful to Louis. Whoever the hell Louis was to Pat Patterson. I don't really want to know. That's what I hate about the internet. I don't want to know. I'm watching. You don't remember when they first had that awesome It was stupid, but I watched it. The Legends House and Roddy's howling at the moon, and Tony. Nobody wants to eat Tony's food because it's smelly. It's pig's feet or whatever the fuck it was that Tony liked to eat. And I was watching all of this, and then at the end, it's the big reveal that Pat Patterson likes wieners. I was like, I don't want to really know. It doesn't make me anything. You want to label me for your own paranoid? Look, your perception's yours. I don't want to know.
By the way, I think Ribshot doesn't like us anymore.
What happened with Ribshot?
I don't know. I think he got offended because I said that he's as bad as AI or something like that. I said something.
He's
stupid.
not as bad as AI. I don't like AI anyway. You know, if I had it my way, this wouldn't even be a topic. They'd be like, "Up, the Pharaoh did it again. He erased another phenomenon." I'm like, nope.
All right. With that, Jimmy, great show. We'll do another one next week. What are you thinking?
Sure. I keep trying to think and nothing happens, but yeah.
Please go to the original OG Monte and the Pharaoh page. Please tell your friends. Please subscribe. We want to get that monetized, and we're going to start putting some programming on that. I think Jimmy's going to maybe do some little magic. We got Bruce working on there. Let's get it rolling, guys. We love your support. And, I'm a little bit angry, Jimmy. I meant to tell you this. Okay. So we were supposed to have our Missy Hyatt stuff on Dark Side of the Ring this season.
Right.
And I think on another episode, and it looks like they took James Romero, his interview.
Has his stuff been featured in the past on other shows, I would assume? Or
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Other than
I'm very, very disappointed.
Yeah, I would be too. They've used our stuff before.
ESO says Dutch was backstage at Backlash. Yeah, Bruce, I know. He's alive and kicking for now.
Zeb.
James Romero's following him around with a fucking mirror to keep it under his nose to make sure he's still fucking breathing, but that's all right.
Just checking in on you, mate.
Hey, listen, I wouldn't blame James Romero. That's his cash cow, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, before that it was Don, right?
Dutch, if you leave me, I'll have to get a real job and I'll have to support my child and wife. Come on. Cut it out. It's okay, James.
Vacuums today?
It's okay, James. I won't die until another 3 months. What else can I do to stop you from dying? Hold on, they're having dialogue, Jimmy.
What are you doing, man?
Don't have they're having dialogue. Stop interfering. If you give me another $1,000 a month, I promise to stay alive for another year.
Oh, this is getting.
I can't afford it. How about 500? 500 and a razor to shave my back. Deal, James. That's wonderful, Dutch. I'm so happy. Good, James. Sorry.
Fucking idiot. No, can I do it, Mike? Hold on, just like
okay. Who am I starting with? James or Dutch?
No. It was the end to your incredible ad-libbed conversation there.
Go ahead.
So put Romero up.
All right, go ahead.
He looks Dutch in the eyes, poor Dutch's dying eyes, and goes, "Cha-ching."
With that, send us out.
He's mean. I don't like him at all.
That was an evil ending.
It is. You're terrible.
We love you all, guys. We'll see you next Thursday. We'll be doing 2 shows next Thursday. We'll have a guest at 7:30, and we'll be doing a regular show at 9 o'clock. And please like and subscribe to Monte the Pharaoh OG page. Jimmy Pharaoh, you are a true wrestling historian, sir, and a true star. We haven't seen Bruce. Does Bruce not make any appearance?
Well, Bruce was on once tonight, but I'm actually going to try something here. There's other cats in this room, by the way. And here's one of them, and he hates to be picked up. His name is Blaze.
Blaze.
Come on, big boy. Oh, yeah.
That cat's not happy.
He is huge.
Wow, look at that cat. He's so cute.
Yeah, this is Blaze. Kitty. They all have the same color in this room for some reason. They're all the stripy stuff. Hey, Blaze, what do you say to the audience? I say that the kid over across the pond sucks. He blows. Bro. Oh, you're from New York? No, bro. I'm from Panama City Beach. Put me down, motherfucker. I got a fort. And that was Blaze, named after Blaze Bailey, who's getting in the Hall of Fame with Iron Maiden this year. There you go.
Very good.
There it is.
Well, send us out there, Mr. Pharaoh.
Do I have to? I've been having so much fun. I feel so comfortable. You've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh. And until next week, later.
Yeah. No scripts, no apologies. This is Monty and the Pharaoh. Step into the fire, we're breaking all the rules. Voices getting louder, we ain't playing for fools. From the streets of New York to the worldwide stage, uncaged opinions, yeah, we bring